Imperial Tobacco is one of the 5 largest tobacco companies in the world. Based in Bristol, they manufacture, market and sell a comprehensive range of tobacco products, including cigars, filters and rolling papers. They operate within 160 countries worldwide, including the UK, Germany, France and the US. Within these markets, their main competitors include Altria, British American Tobacco, Japan Tobacco and Philip Morris International. They employ around 40,000 employees with a revenue of $12.4 billion in 2007. The Competing Values Framework. Imperial Tobacco is a flexible corporation which focuses on the production of a large number of products. They are focused on helping to improve the nature of their business by adapting to government legislations. Helping to reduce the negative effects of smoking supports the well-being of their customers and meets external needs, which all relates to the open system model. Imperial Tobacco faces many challenges in the market. These include challenges within corporate social responsibility and legislations and regulations set in place by the government.
What is corporate social responsibility? This is the concept whereby businesses operating in a large market have to take into consideration the needs and interests of the society in order to be seen as a responsible and ethical business. Their social responsibilities are towards their customers, employees, shareholders, and stakeholders. How does CSR affect Imperial Tobacco? There are a number of different ways in which CSR affects the operations of a business. Issues which must be taken into consideration include the environment. Number 1. Tobacco as a crop is responsible for damage to ancient forests, soil depletion, and pollution from pesticides and fertilizers. Number 2. A great deal of wood is used to dry tobacco, which causes pollution to be released in the air during the combustion process. Number 3. Tobacco is a sensitive plant prone to many diseases, requiring huge chemical inputs. As well as being hazardous to users, chemicals may run off into water courses, contaminating local water supplies. Number 4. There are also concerns about the control of diseases such as malaria, which is made more difficult, especially in poorer countries. Number 5. Cigarette making produces large quantities of waste, such as material waste and toxic chemical wastes.
Faced with the diminishing sources of wood, the tobacco industry has attempted to address the problem by encouraging farmers to plant their own trees. Farmers find it difficult on small holdings, as they need non-tobacco growing land for food production. Number 7. In developing countries, local producers are often under contract to tobacco companies, who buy the cured tobacco at the price they set themselves. Number 8. Once a farmer commits to tobacco, it is hard to diversify. This results in monoculture, where farmers become dependent on producing tobacco for a living. Social. Number 1. It is now a widely accepted fact that tobacco consumption is harmful to the customer health, and when smoked is harmful to those nearby, i.e. passive smoking. Number 2. Tobacco is highly addictive and has become a problem among young people who suffer from pressure by peers and the media, which creates a negative image on what is acceptable. Number 3. Treating smoking-related illnesses has placed great pressure on the NHS financially, costing taxpayers £2.7 billion a year. Number 4. As the majority of tobacco production is carried out in third world countries, tobacco companies have to be aware of the legislation within these countries and have to respect this.
Government versus Imperial Tobacco. Tobacco companies have cost both the government and the consumer a large amount of money and their lives. The government has decided to introduce a number of smoking regulations in order to reduce the conflict between society and smoking. The most effective legislation that the government has put into place is whereby the EU Commission has designed a guideline for packaging which includes 14 images which every tobacco manufacturer must print on their packaging. These images will cover up to 40% of the packaging in order to prevent further promotions from being used. In addition, verbal warnings are still going to be printed on the packaging. This relates to the legislation relating to reducing tobacco advertising and sponsorship. Alternative methods. In order to reduce the use of harmful tobacco products, alternatives have to be used. The e-cigarette looks, feels and tastes like an ordinary cigarette, but it is an alternative option to those who find it hard to quit. The e-cigarette is healthier as many of the substances in normal cigarettes have been removed. This means that it produces less odours and harmful toxins. It can be smoked in places where smoking has been banned, as well as being cheaper.